The Movie World of Roger Corman. Chelsea House Publishers, 1979. Greetings, friends. Today we're going to look at a book that I recently picked up. I had it for many, many years, and I lost it. I don't know what happened to it years ago, so I decided to get it again because I generally like the book. There are a couple of caveats which we'll get to. But if you're into Roger Corman films, this is a good book to have. There are a few others that are probably better. But you can pick this one up for like 10, 15 bucks. So, it's still, you can get a good deal. It's a pretty hefty book. It's about 240 pages. And it has tons of photos with a nice color section. So Roger Corman, what can be said about the king of the B movies? As far as it being an influence on me, hardcore, going back to those classic 50s films, Monster from the Ocean Floor, A Bucket of Blood, Little Shop of Horrors, Creature from the Haunted Sea, and many more. And then going into the 60s and 70s with awesome films like Death Race 2000. I always loved the Corman films and the Corman film ethic. Basically, make as many films as you can, as cheap as you can, and try not to lose money. That was basically it. And with that, he was very successful. I think he only lost money on a couple of films that he ever made. He definitely had a knack for directing and or producing memorable B movies. There's no doubt about that. And of course, later he got more into producing. You had New World Pictures and Concord and some great films from that era going into the 80s and 90s. So let's take a look inside the movie world of Roger Corman. And of course, we have the contents page with various chapters, monsters everywhere. A love affair with Edgar Allan Poe, of course, his great Poe series, including Mask of the Red Death. Fantastic, The Tomb of Lygia. Will success spoil Roger Corman? A New World for Roger Corman, of course, with New World Pictures. The Corman Philosophy. Yes, indeed. Films directed by Corman, and then films produced and distributed by Roger Corman for New World Pictures. I like the way that they start off. There is a intro, of course, by Philip DeFranco, 1978, but they start right off the bat with a very nice series of color reproduction from some of the great Corman films, the fantastic one-sheet posters that were done for his movies. Of course, The Wasp Woman, starring Susan Cabot, A Beautiful Woman by Day, a Lusting Queen Wasp by Night. Teenage Cavemen. Oh, Robert Vaughn. Thunder over Hawaii. Watch out with that hook there. Whew. That's a close one. One of his Poe adaptations, The Haunted Palace. Now, of course, screenplay by Charles Beaumont. Both Charles Beaumont and Chuck Griffith would write a lot of screenplays for Corman back in the day. We're talking 50s, 60s, 70s. And of course, Charles Beaumont, fantastic writer. He wrote for The Twilight Zone. Later on in I want to say the 80s or early 90s, there was a fantastic Corman-produced film called Brain Dead that was based upon a Charles Beaumont screenplay. And it's fantastic. If you get a chance, I believe it is still on Tubi. Check it out. Crybaby Killer. Just loved that. One sheet. That is fantastic. One of my favorites right here. Not of This Earth. The art is just stunning. Of course, this is the film with Paul Birch, Beverly Garland. Screenplay by Charles Griffith. Produced and directed by Roger Corman. Mask of the Red Death, also one of my favorite posters. Just ingenious art, if you look at it. take a good look, you'll see that there's a woman whose butt is actually Vincent Price's nose. You can see like a person laying out, and it's this lower lip there. People in chains being tortured, of course. You know, all kinds of images, ghastly images that make up Vincent Price's face. The Hot Box. Oh, yes. Good God. Believe it or not, yes, written by Joe Viola and Jonathan Demme. Produced by Jonathan Demme. Ravaged, savaged, licked by the fiery tongues of the Hot Box. The Dunwich Horror. Now, this was executive produced by Corman. It's one of the worst H.P. Lovecraft adaptations I've ever seen. If you've read the Dunwich Horror, and please by all means read it, because the story is one of Lovecraft's greatest, and they just trounced it with this film. Dean Stockwell is a great actor, but Wilbur Whateley, he ain't, and all of the real terror of the story is just not there. TNT Jackson, oh yes, Jean Bell, winner of the Ebony Fist Award. Spine-shattering, bone-blasting. She's a one-mama massacre squad. Angels Die Hard, nice poster. Night of the Cobra Woman, Bloody Mama, Shelley Winter's vehicle, right there. Bruce Dern and Robert De Niro also in this film. Old Ron Howard, Eat My Dust. Oh yes, a very funny car. 7 Blows of the Dragon. 7 Masters with 1,000 Ways to Kill. The Future is Cancelled. Last Days of Man on Earth. Sterling Hayden, Patrick McGee. Designed, written, and directed by Robert Fewest. Based on the novel by Michael Moorcock. And there are a few screw-ups in the book. Like, for example, of course, the photo from The Day the World Ended from 1955. But it says Monster from the Ocean Floor, 1954. They attribute this photo to Attack of the Crab Monster, 1956. It is not Attack of the Crab Monster. The film is Attack of the Crab Monsters. So they screwed that up, and what's really kind of funny is that even on the film page, they have it listed as Attack of the Crab Monster. Double pager for The Day the World Ended. Oh yes. Paul Blaisdell is somewhere in that suit, folks. Apache Woman, 5 Guns West, The Oklahoma Woman. He did plenty of westerns, too, as you can see. And they really cover so many of his films. Queen of Blood, just saw that recently. Beach Ball. Oh boy, moving violation. Corman's first movie, Monster from the Ocean Floor, made for $12,000, produced by Roger Corman. So there's a glimpse into the movie world of Roger Corman. Overall, I recommend it. You can find this for like 10, 15, maybe 20 bucks max. Definitely worth it for that price, no doubt about it. The movie world of Roger Corman, Chelsea House, 1979. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you soon.